I am back. I am back. Why am I not back? I can see your all comments. Oh, it was a spinning circle because I was digging out a couple cheap root beers. Again, we weren't planning on doing this. You know, and sometimes, I'll be honest, I do things
Here.
and I don't think about them. Where do you want to set it, dear? Here at the table for a bit?
Well, I was thinking the couch. The couch has back support.
Okay. Here you go. I told you there was some root beers in there.
Well, there was one.
So, I don't always think before I do things. The still spinning, I am walking, so that could be part of the spinning, but hopefully I am on there. Pipe dreams, huh? So, there we are. Anywho, back to the point I was making is I don't always think things through very well. So we got everything moved, and I didn't think about how our egg cutting video is going to look. So this is our first egg cutting. It was kind of like well, shit, where do I do this at, and how do I make this video work well? So you have to bear with me this year. What we may end up doing,
I think we're going to end up doing egg cuttings on the island in the kitchen.
we could do that. We might do that, and then yeah, because it'll be better when everything is moved over. Like, so when I get the incubator empty from this year, we hope to move the incubator over and then the hatching rack. So then egg cuttings, everything else next year will all be filmed over there. So we are trying to address that, but I cannot possibly move that incubator right now because it's still full of eggs. I mean, we've got clutch 12 is in there still baking, although we just cut it. Then you got 13, 14, 15, 16, and 18 in there, I think, with 17 in the test. So, Banana Mojave times Super Pastel Lesser. Yeah, and you may be waiting a little bit. Like, it's kind of funny how they work. A lot of people always want to know, well, when I get locks, how long till eggs? And they can retain sperm for years. So sometimes you may get locks and then still find yourself waiting on eggs for months and months and months. So the thing to do is feed that girl hard right now. A lot of times when they're locking, they're going to eat really, really good. And then they'll just shut down. And when they shut down, that's a sign. You'll see them wrap around the bowl and stick hard to the cold side. That's a sign. And then sometimes you'll see them shed, and the color will look like just brighter. Like, not, they always shed and look brighter, but I mean just really, really brighter. And then you'll see that that's called glow. And then of course you'll start getting the building and then the ovulation. And once you get ovulation, it's guaranteed go time. I have never had an escape from a TGR rack that I can think of.
I have, but that's because it's the air on me. I didn't shut it all the way.
Was that a TGR rack? Or was that the old house?
No, it was here.
So if you leave the rack open, the snake will get out.
Yep.
We know that. But no, I haven't. Apparently, Question Girl went out once, how to track it. I remember that. You called me. I was traveling. Oh, yeah, that is right. Christopher did forget about that. It was the baby. We did have a baby get out whenever it was. I didn't get the tub put back in right. So on the baby tubs, you just got to make sure and lift them up when you slide them in because the tubs are so little, they're flexible and they'll pop out of the track unless you get, that corner all the way in. So I did have that one. I did forget about that. I mean, just one of them things. Oh no, Lindsay? Your cat opened a tub? I thought my cat was mischievous. Oh shit! I hope you found it. I shouldn't be laughing at that. I'm just, my cat went to check out a snake one time. He snuck in there. He stuck his nose in a baby tub that was open, and that baby bit his ass right on the nose. And he's left him alone ever since. Oh, it likes to pop out when you close it, Chris, or all the time? I've had some, especially in my 70s, and part of it I think is bigger snakes, heavier litter, kind of weighs them down, and the sides will kind of warp where that's not a straight line. It kind of will do this number, and so then it can pop out the track. But if you get the corner, like if I lift up and close it, where the corners are in, then I won't ever have a problem. So that's what I try to make sure and
Okay,
do.
Google. Turn off the kitchen.
Oh, I don't like getting my hand eaten. I shouldn't laugh at you guys' misery, but it's kind of funny. You know, you'll have some that will do that, Chad. That'll just, and it's not usually a big deal to leave it in there for a while. And sometimes they'll come back and eat it. I've also found that when I have snakes doing that, a lot of times I'll go to a slightly smaller item, and I'm just on the verge of what they think is too big. It's not what's really too big, but it's a feed item the snake is just not quite comfortable with. So if I scale it back just a bit, then we go there. Do you want to show us what you made today?
For dinner?
Yeah.
Sure.
What do we have there?
We have chicken parmesan right here. And then we have 4 cheese penne with prosciutto in it.
So, should we do more Question Girl cooking videos? That is the question. Right now it's an eating video.
Oh, Question Girl's in her nightgown post water aerobics. So.
Any regurg post going small? I haven't. Oh, your regurg post. No, I haven't seen postings. I literally got off work and then I drove to the cabin to do some work, and then like it just went, huge storm came here, cut eggs, and you know, it kind of just, I haven't had a chance to really look at anything, truth be told, and I don't know if we even have internet yet, which is going to make us watching TV impossible because it's the only way we watch TV now. So it's going to really suck if we don't get
I
that
don't think
right.
we do, because I told Google to turn off the lights and it told me bug off.
Great. The black pewter regurgitated again. What size meal are you feeding it? Because and you might give it a week off unless it's like dire need. When you have like babies, almost will always, well, every now and then they'll have one. You'll get like a little bit of hair, they'll cough up or something. But when you have an adult regurging, it can throw their stomach acids way off, and then they're gonna have a hard time digesting the next time. So if you get one to regurg, sometimes it's good to skip a week and kind of let all that chemical, you know, inside get back right. And that way, when you feed them again, they got the proper mix of acids and shit to break down and digest that food. Could be. It could be why the second one was. You know, the weirdest thing I've ever had on a regurg was Reaper. And we fed Reaper, and he took a small or medium rat, sucked it all the way down, and I mean, if it wasn't a full carcass, like I've had almost like they regurgitated a pelt before, but they kept most everything down. So, you know, basically, Reaper regurgitated an entire rat because somebody locked up and scared him. He just finished swallowing it, and he came back and ate it. It's disgusting. He didn't have all this stuff. He just kind of threw it in reverse. And Centene for stubborn hatchlings might work, but on frozen thawed, I don't think it's always a scent. You know, it's usually the hand. It's like moving around and all of that. They're seeing you, and they're almost more scared of that than they are of eating it. So sometimes live is really the only way to get them going. Well, there you go, Travis. Glad we could help with that. And a couple days after feed day, so the hope is she got most of the nourishment from it. But if she's done that twice in a row, I'd still give her a break and let her have some time out to kind of get everything back regulated. It won't hurt her to miss a week, especially if she's eating that good otherwise. All right, so guys, anything you want to know about with the new place, move? And like I said, currently, one thing I forgot to put on there, and I went back and I edited it, so you guys should have it. And I think last I checked, Wolfgeist is in the lead on our charity auction. And she's probably like, shh, don't say anything. Don't make people bid. But if you win the charity auction, you also get to pick the animal that you would like to sponsor. And right now, I think we are able to sponsor like a bobcat or something like that, like kind of like we did last year. And if it gets to the 250 mark, we can then sponsor a large cat. And then we're also going to be selling one of the pies for charity. So that will sponsor at least a large cat and maybe another small animal. I really like that because they send us pictures and certificates, so it's something we can put into the reptile house to kind of say, you know, hey, this is what we're doing as a group. And so, especially when new people sign up and come a few years down the road, they can see the dedication that we've had uh, to to show that. And I think that's kind of cool. Uh, there is one cat I would like to sponsor this year, and I'll probably do it through the pie unless you guys pick him. And he's a white tiger named Chaos. And I just think since we're doing the Killer Bee Exanthic and I'm naming it Chaos, it'd be cool to have the white tiger to go with it, named Chaos, which is kind of what they almost look like. To me, they look more like that than they would say a zebra. So, 'cause I always think of tigers when I do zebras. Kind of cool. And thank you, Serenity. But there's a lot of people that do a lot of good things, and it's not me. It's also you guys. I mean, it's the things that you guys buy that we're putting to there, and it's the money from there. So it's not just my doing. So I would have to pick Chaos. And I love white tigers. I love tigers in general. But when you get a properly bred white tiger and not just an inbred mess, some of them are. They're a sight to behold. As far and Jimmy for mites, yes, there is a product just called I think Nature's Chemistry makes it called Reptile Spray, and that shit is the bomb. It almost was hard to get for a while, and I use it to pre-treat stuff, but it's back in stock on Amazon, and man, just it's great, and I like it because it's very low, not very toxic, so you can spray it directly on the animal.
Whoa.
Cats are
Did you
being
see
crazy.
the Ninja Kitty?
Yeah, so you can spray it directly on the animal without any ill effects. I just make sure I keep it out of the water dish, and you can kind of spray the bedding down. It's what you see me pre-treat with. That stuff is awesome. And if you keep a lot of reptiles, you're going to have a few mites pop up sometimes. It's impossible not to. You can get them from outside or anywhere else. But yeah, and Lindsay, you literally can buy the gallon, and that's what I do. So I've got a couple small bottles, and I buy a gallon, I just refill it. But you literally could not get a gallon of it for a while, and it just came back in stock. So you can bet your ass I ordered a gallon just the other day. Should be here on Friday. Woo! Because I'm about out. So it is definitely great stuff to have. I mean, cannot beat it. It is a great product. So I was worried they weren't going to make it anymore. And I was kind of scrambling to try to find something else to use, and I wasn't finding anything that had the same chemical. It was just a little worried about that. Yeah, and I felt bad for Eris. I still don't know what happened. I just, because she'd been rough to get started back, I took a pup, just a pup. I thought, well, I'll leave this pup in overnight because it can't do anything, like we've talked about. And I went back and I checked on her, and the pup was fine, and she had died. And there wasn't any, it wasn't the pup. There was no wounds or anything like that. There was no obvious things. The one thing I did notice is it did look like that she had possibly bit herself on the side. You could tell a difference just because there was a small divot. There wasn't like a chunk from a rat. And there is some conditions that will cause them to do that when they pass away. So, it's unfortunate. That is, all my life, I've only ever lost 2 adult snakes. One was my female carpet to egg binding, and one was Eris. So the female carpet's name was Rhea, for that matter. And it sucks every time, but I also kind of knew getting into this, it's going to happen. And it's going to happen more. I'm going to have more really happy videos, but I'm also going to have more of the shit videos. And that just comes with having, we counted the day, I think we have like 115 snakes, not including babies that are for sale or going to be sold that are just ours. And when you have 115, you're going to have some loss. Losing one is less than 1%. You're going to have it. It's just unavoidable. So it sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, and just when you treat those with the mite spray, just like every other day or so, give them a spray. Oh God, I've done that. Nothing's worse too when you're barefoot, and I've done that barefoot when I had them downstairs. I just walked check snake room, and yeah, the cats would vomit somewhere, and that chunky food was kind of cold, and just I've done that. Stepped into cat puke. Have you ever stepped in cat puke, dear? You have too. She said she hasn't, but she has. We got a lot of cats. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off of here and I'm gonna eat my dinner. It's Erin's almost finished with hers, and I haven't touched mine yet. So I'm gonna try to figure out a better way to make these more interesting than just me on the couch. I'll think of something. Anything you want to add, dear?
Dinner's good.
She says that dinner's good. And, you know, olive oil might be all right, but I've all sorts of people really worry about certain oils. And I'm not, you know, he knows what he's doing, though. So she's trying something. Chris said you're trying not to think about cat puke while eating. She's been with me long enough. She's got a pretty tough stomach. All right, guys, I better hop off here. I love what you guys
I'm also
do.
looking at rabbit shit on the floor, so you know.
Oh yeah, the rabbit pooped on the floor. Rabbits do that. We do have a rabbit temporarily, and no, it's not a feeder rabbit. It's supposed to be in her classroom. Long story. I'll let her get to that one night. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you for what you do for us. It's amazing that you are so great. But I'm gonna eat my dinner and try to get my TV to work. We'll see you next time.